I'm James Villepigue.
And I'm Hugo Rivera.
We'd like to welcome you to the Body Sculpting Bible Secrets to Perfect Form DVD. Hugo and I are so gratified by the amazing success of our Body Sculpting Bible series of books and by the many emails and letters we've received from our readers telling us just how effective our workouts have been in helping you to achieve your fitness goals.
In this DVD, we share with you the 5 fitness essentials straight out from our Body Sculpting Bibles. Number 1, strength training, which is what this DVD will focus on. We will demonstrate key free weight exercises for all the major muscle groups, which are often performed incorrectly. Number 2, cardiovascular exercise, such as biking or walking on a treadmill. Number 3, nutrition, which includes eating 5 to 6 small meals a day and drinking plenty of water, along with the proper nutritional supplementation. Number 4, mindset, which includes goal setting, visualization, and the zone tone technique, which will be further discussed in the book. And number 5, rest and recovery, which explains the importance of rest and sleep.
For those of you who are familiar with the Body Sculpting Bible books, this video will help to clarify common questions about technique and form, so that by the end of the video, you'll know exactly what you need to do in way of technique and form to bring on the best results possible. Now, for those of you who are new to the Body Sculpting Bible books, we'll introduce you to our philosophy behind the program. So are you ready to sculpt your way to an awesome body? Put on some workout clothes, grab a pair of weights, and let's begin.
Strength training with weights is the optimal way to sculpt your muscles into the best body you can attain. Our program hits all your major muscle groups and hits them according to a principle known as periodization. Periodization is really a pretty simple concept. Just like your mind gets bored when you read the same pages over and over again, your body needs to be stimulated by new workouts in order to keep building muscle and burning body fat. So with periodization, you vary your workouts every 2 weeks in order to keep your body from adapting. If you don't, you will hit a plateau.
There are many ways you can vary your routines. For example, you can change the number of exercises, the types of exercises, the order in which you do them, the heaviness of the weights, and even the amount of rest between sets. As you can see, the options are plentiful. In the Body Sculpting Bible workout, however, one of the main ways that you'll vary your workouts is through the types of sets you'll perform. A set, for those of you who don't know, is a given number of repetitions of a particular exercise. For example, a set of 10 to 12 biceps curls.
In our program, you will be using 3 main types of techniques. The first one, modified compound supersets. Second one, traditional supersets. And the last one, giant sets. A modified compound superset is a pair of exercises with a slight rest in between, usually for opposing muscles such as the back and the chest. In contrast, a traditional superset is a combination of exercises that you perform without any rest in between sets. Again, you usually do this for exercises of opposing muscle groups. Finally, the granddaddy of all sets and the most difficult technique is the giant set, which is a set of 4 exercises performed consecutively back-to-back with no rest until after the last exercise in the set.
Now that you've received a quick overview of the techniques that we use in the program, we can now begin with some examples of strength training exercises for the upper body. Please remember that this DVD stresses proper form and technique, so please pay special attention to watching each exercise as it is performed, and practice your form before incorporating any of these exercises into your program. Before we actually perform each exercise, I'll first direct Anthony, our model, by using proper anatomical alignment followed by proper form and technique. The first exercise we'll be discussing today is the push-up. It's a very powerful exercise to help develop the chest muscles, the tricep muscles, and the anterior deltoids. So we'll begin by having Anthony take a position face down on the floor with arms fully extended and legs fully extended. As you can see, his hands have weight distributed evenly and his tiptoes have the weight distributed evenly. We're focusing now on the chest muscles. So Anthony thinks about what muscle he intends to contract before he actually does the movement. Inhaling, lowering his body to about 1 inch off of the floor, and then pushing back up, exhaling, contracting the chest muscles as hard as possible. Again, slowly coming back down, inhaling, then pushing forcefully off the palms, exhaling, coming back up. And now 3 repetitions in real time. Good. 1. Begin exhaling, push back up, focused on the chest muscles. 2. And back up again for 3. A variation of this exercise is something we call the atomic push-up. It's an advanced exercise used to further challenge the chest muscles, the triceps, and anterior deltoids. Going back to Anthony in the upright position, he'll lower his body and then forcefully expend his body back up so that his hands and feet simultaneously come off the floor. Back down again, nice, slow, and controlled, then exploding up, bringing both hands and feet again simultaneously off the floor. This movement is great for challenging the chest muscles more than just the push-up. Very good, Anthony. Give me 2 more. Exploding up, coming down nice and slow, and then forcefully back up. Great job. The next exercise will be the incline dumbbell bench press, used to develop the upper chest or pectoral muscles with an emphasis also on the triceps and the anterior deltoids. Anthony will begin this exercise by picking up a pair of dumbbells, by bending at the knees and at the hips. He'll place those dumbbells in front of his thighs, sit back into the bench. He'll now thrust each thigh into the air, bringing each dumbbell back into position. Now this is very important. At this point, Anthony wants to bring the shoulder blades back so that his chest rises above his shoulders. Very important for helping to accentuate the chest muscles. Anthony will begin now by exhaling, pressing the weights evenly at the top, fully contracting the chest muscles as hard as possible, slowly bringing the weights back down, inhaling, and without rest, bringing the weights back up, fully contracting the chest muscles. Very good. And now in real-time fashion, Anthony will perform 3 more repetitions. As you can see, he's fully contracting those chest muscles at the top, inhaling as he comes down, exhaling as he presses back up. Without rest, come back down. Same thing, smooth transition from the bottom to the top, and from the top to the bottom. Great job, Anthony. The next exercise we're going to be performing is the flat dumbbell fly. It's an isolation exercise, again, used to develop only the chest muscles this time. We'll begin by having Anthony get in front of the dumbbells. He'll bend at the knees and at the hips, placing the dumbbells in front of his thighs. He'll now sit at the bench. He'll now use his thighs to thrust each dumbbell into position, sitting back on the bench. We're again going to retract or bring the shoulder blades back, bringing the chest higher than the shoulders. Contrary to popular belief, the palms out grip actually puts more emphasis on the chest muscles and takes away from the shoulder. From this position, Anthony will begin by exhaling, curling the weights up and bringing them back down. He uses the image of hugging a tree. As you can see, he's got a bend in the elbows and he'll maintain that bend throughout the movement. Down, maintaining the arc in the elbow, and focusing only on moving the shoulder joint and contracting the chest muscles. Back down, bringing the weights back up, exhaling, inhaling as he comes down, turning it around smoothly, bringing it back up, fully contracting the chest muscles at the top. Great job, Anthony. Give me 1 more. Nice and smooth. Bring your thighs up towards your chest, thighs up, and thrust your legs down. This next exercise is called the lying dumbbell triceps extension. This exercise focuses again on the tricep muscles. Anthony will take the same position. He'll now thrust each thigh and dumbbell into the air, bring the arms overhead. He'll bring the arms slightly back to take any undue stress off of the elbow joint and the shoulder. Now from this position, he brings the dumbbells back, only moving from the elbow joint, focusing on the triceps. He'll exhale and then bring the dumbbells back overhead, fully contracting the triceps muscles. Slowly bring the weights back down, inhaling, and then back up, extending, and focused on contracting those triceps muscles. Now in real time, about 3 more repetitions, nice and focused, a fluid motion, smooth transition from the top to the bottom. Begin to exhale and bring the weights back up to the top, focusing on those triceps. And give us 1 more, Anthony. Inhaling as you come back down to your ears and back up to the top, contracting. Great. Now at this point, he'll bring the thighs up. As it's the end of the exercise, thrust the thighs down, back to the start position. Very good, Anthony. This next exercise is the dumbbells triceps kickback. It's an isolation exercise for the triceps. We'll begin this exercise by having Anthony pick up the dumbbell. Now Anthony will get his proper posture and form down. He'll bend over at the hips, supporting his body with the other arm. His back has a slight arc in it, the same type of arc as if you were sitting in a chair. His arm is at a 90-degree angle. He's focused now thinking about the triceps muscles. He begins the exercise by exhaling and bringing that arm back with the dumbbell, contracting the tricep forcefully. He slowly brings the weight back down, and without rest, he exhales and brings it back up, fully contracting those tricep muscles. And in real-time fashion, let's do 3 more, Anthony. Exhale as you bring that weight back up, and slowly back down. Begin to exhale again, back up. Squeeze, contracting that tricep muscle. Inhale as you bring it back down, and 1 more, Anthony. Back up, fully contracted position. Fantastic. You can put that weight back down. Stand back up, and then we'd be ready to train the next arm. This next exercise is called the incline dumbbell biceps curl. It's a great exercise allowing a full range of motion for the biceps, and because of the incline, it allows for a great stretch in the biceps muscles. We'll first set Anthony up with his postural alignment by keeping his feet flat on the floor. He'll now bring the dumbbells into place by leaning back and bringing the arms at waist side. Great. From this position, Anthony is focused on keeping the elbows directed directly to the floor. He'll now contract the biceps by flexing his elbow joint, bringing the dumbbells up, fully contracting, and slowly coming back down. Without rest, all the way down to a fully extended position, he brings the weights back up, exhaling as he fully contracts the biceps, and back down. You can see that great stretch in those biceps muscles. He brings them back up, exhaling, fully contracting those muscles, back down, a smooth transition from the top to the bottom, and the bottom to the top, all the way down. Now 3 more in real-time fashion. Right back up, exhaling, contracting fully at the top, right back down. A smooth transition from the bottom to the top, back up, good, squeezing, again back down as he inhales. 1 more, Anthony, great. Exhale as you contract up, fully squeeze at the top. Now, Anthony, why don't you sit back for a sec and we'll do a variation of that exercise called the incline hammer curl. This time his palms face his body. This time the emphasis now goes to the outside of the bicep to a muscle called the brachialis muscle and the forearms called the brachioradialis. This is a great exercise developing the other portions of the bicep and forearm muscles. He would follow the same form, bringing the dumbbells back up, keeping the elbows pointed to the ground, and then back down in a smooth transition to the bottom position. Very good. Anthony is demonstrating an exercise called the dumbbell shoulder press. Great job, Anthony. Why don't we start from the beginning? Place those dumbbells back down at your sides. Great. Stand up. Now Anthony will begin by picking up the dumbbells as he bends at the knees and the waist. He picks up those dumbbells, sits back into the bench. With dumbbells resting on his thighs, he will again thrust each thigh and dumbbell into the air so that he's in the right position. You can see that Anthony has a box-like position where the back of the arms are parallel to the floor and the forearms remain perpendicular. His objective is to stimulate and contract the shoulder muscles. So Anthony will begin sitting in an upright position, pressing the dumbbells overhead as he exhales, and a smooth transition back down to the same start position and right back up again. He exhales as he pushes up, slowly comes back down, no rest at the bottom. Exhales again as he pushes up, slowly comes back down. He makes sure that he doesn't lock his elbows at the top, keeps a slight bend, comes right back down to the start position, and we'll do 3 more in real-time fashion, Anthony. Great. And down. As he inhales, he begins to exhale, pressing back up to the top. 2 more, Anthony. Back down in a nice, smooth, fluid transition. Top to the bottom, and bottom to the top. Great. Dumbbells come back to the thighs and back to the floor. Great job. Anthony now is demonstrating a dumbbell upright row. This is going to put emphasis on the shoulder muscles and a secondary emphasis on the trapezius muscles of the shoulders. Great job, Anthony. Why don't we start from the beginning? He'll place those dumbbells back down, and as if he was just beginning, he'll step into the dumbbells, bend at his knees and at his hips. He'll pick up those dumbbells, and he'll align his body so that he's got proper posture. His feet are about hip width apart, pointing straight ahead. His knees are slightly bent. His abs are tight. He maintains a slight lumbar curve in his back to protect his lower back. His chest remains out. His shoulders are back. He begins the movement by focusing on what muscle he intends to train, which are the shoulders. So, he begins the movement by exhaling and pulling those weights up, leading the motion with the elbows. He brings the weights back down in a slow, controlled manner, and without rest at the bottom, he begins to exhale, bringing the weights back up just underneath the chin, maintaining proper posture, bent knees, tight abs, lumbar curve, chest out and shoulders back, nice and smooth, back down, without rest, back up, leading the motion again with the elbows, back down to the beginning. Let's do about 3 more in real-time fashion. Great. All the emphasis remains on the shoulders. Perfect form. Back up, exhaling, contracting those shoulders. Give us 1 more, Anthony. Exhaling, driving up with the elbows, and back down to the start position. Bend the knees, place the dumbbells back down. Great job. Anthony is now demonstrating the dumbbell bent over row. It's a great exercise for emphasizing the muscles of the back, also known as the latissimus dorsi. All right, Anthony, let's start from the beginning again. Anthony will start as if he's beginning. So he'll step over to the dumbbells, bend at the knees and the hips, pick up those dumbbells. We'll now align his body so he's got proper posture. His feet are about hip width apart, feet pointing straight ahead. His knees are bent. He'll now bend over at the hips and create a lumbar curve in his back to protect his lower back. His shoulders are back, his chest is out. The objective of this movement is to row those dumbbells and those elbows back, following the direction of the muscle fibers of the latissimus dorsi. Because those muscles are fan-shaped, he'll follow the same arc movement of those fibers of those muscles. So Anthony will begin the movement by exhaling, drawing those elbows back, bringing them as far back as he can, making sure that he's consciously contracting the muscles of the back. Again, he exhales, brings them back, holds for a second, slowly brings them back to the start position, inhaling, then begins to exhale, driving the elbows back to the top, making sure that he's focused on contracting those back muscles at the top, maintaining form. He keeps that lumbar curve in the lower back, knees bent, shoulders back, and chest out. Let's do 3 more. All the way back, squeeze. Stand straight up. Great job. The next exercise up is the dumbbell bent over lateral raise, focusing on developing the rear deltoids or shoulder muscles. Anthony will begin this exercise by picking up the dumbbells by bending at the waist. He'll keep the arms fully extended at the side. Now Anthony is focused on keeping his feet straight. He's going to bend over at the hips, keeping a lumbar curve in his lower back. His shoulders are back, his chest is out. Now just as we did in the upright row and the bent over row, he's going to lead the motion by directing the movement with his elbows. So Anthony's objective again is to focus on the rear deltoids. He begins by exhaling, bring the elbows out to the side, holding, contracting for a second, coming back down nice and smooth, no rest at the bottom, and then again turning it around, exhaling, driving the elbows out. Focus on the contraction in the rear deltoids. Again, slowly bring it back around, all the way up, squeeze for a second, back down, all the way down, no rest, and smoothly bring it back up. Very good, and slowly bring it back down. Again, begin by exhaling, driving the elbows up, hold, bring it back down. Let's do a couple more, Anthony. Very good. He maintains posture. His focus is on the rear deltoids. Very good. And the last one, Anthony. Drive with the elbows, squeeze, contract, hold, and back down. Very good, Anthony. You place the dumbbells back down and sit up. Very good. Well, that's it for the upper body. Remember to eat healthy both before and after your workouts to make sure that you get the most out of your program. Your post-workout meals, when your body needs to replenish glycogen stores, should contain some protein and carbohydrates, preferably high glycemic complex and optionally additional simple carbs. For example, cream of rice with a protein shake and a banana. Your other meals should be a mix of both proteins and starchy and fibrous carbs. And don't forget to drink lots of water. In your quest for a chiseled chest, killer abs, and great-looking legs, you may find that you ignore training other parts of your body and spend all of your workout time and energy on only the parts you want to change. This is something we often find with our clients initially, and while it might seem like it makes sense to focus on problem areas, for total fitness, the real focus should be on achieving a balanced physique by training all of the major muscle groups.
To do this, you need to make sure that your workout program includes exercises for opposing muscle groups. For example, if you want a well-defined chest, make sure that you also perform exercises for your back. Otherwise, you'll get an overly rounded front and vulnerability for back pains. You've seen those guys at the gym, huge barrel chested from the front with nothing on the back and with really, really skinny legs. It doesn't look right, and it's not good for your body either. The best body is a balanced body. Make sure that you train all your major muscles, your back, your chest, shoulders, arms, definitely the lower body and the abs. To save time, break up your training so that you work up your upper body one day and your lower body the next. It really doesn't take a lot of time, just a few minutes each workout for each muscle group, and the payoff is huge.
And while we're talking about balance, don't forget about your mind-body balance. Your mind is also very much so involved. The two are intricately connected. Think about workouts when you're really concentrated and how much more that little bit of mental focus enabled you to actually feel those muscles tighten even more so. In the book, you'll find tips on how to harness the power of your mind to achieve optimal results from your training program.
In this segment, we're going to demonstrate proper form and technique for several lower body and abdominal exercises. We'll begin with exercises for the glutes and the quadriceps. The first exercise that we're going to perform for the lower body is the king of lower body exercises, which is the squat. The squat is very safe exercise for the lower body, hitting every single muscle, like the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the glutes, and even the calves. So now, Rebecca is going to go ahead and show us how to go ahead and perform the dumbbell squat. So let's go ahead and start by bending at the knees and at the waist and safely picking up the dumbbells. Notice how she keeps the correct curvature on the lumbar area. And now, you're going to go ahead and tighten up the waist. Very nice. And start bending at the knees and lowering down, squatting as if you were going to go ahead and sit on a chair. Bring back up. Perfect. She's going to be pressing with the toes in order to go ahead and get the main emphasis on the quadriceps. Let's go back down again. As she goes back down, she's inhaling, and then she's exhaling as she's coming back up. Perfect. Another good repetition. Also notice that she's keeping the correct curvature over here, and at the same time, she has the knees behind the toes so that the knees are protected. Very good. Perfect. How about we go ahead and show them now the other variation of the squat, which is the ballet squat. We have the feet a little bit wider than shoulder width. And in addition to that, the feet will be angled at a 45 degree. So now we're going to go back down again. Perfect. Bring it back up. Good job. Go back down again. Perfect. Bring it back up. Notice that as she goes down, the knees remain behind the toes, and this is crucial for the knees. Another key thing to notice here is that if she's pressing with the toes, the quadriceps will handle most of the movement. If she presses with the heel, then it's going to go ahead and work the hamstrings and the glutes. This variation of the squat actually hits more the inner thighs, which a lot of you ladies are interested in tightening up. So it's a great, great exercise. And she's pressing with the toes, and if you wanted to emphasize a little bit more on the buttocks, you'll be pressing with the heels. Very good. Excellent. One more. And that's it. Now let's bend at the waist and at the knees and correctly put the dumbbells on the floor. Excellent job. The dumbbell lunge is another great exercise for the legs. The key thing with the dumbbell lunge is that we'll be doing one leg at a time. So therefore, this time we'll be doing more neuromuscular activation, which in other words means that since you're balancing your whole body weight over here in one leg, you'll be activating more muscle fibers that otherwise you don't activate with a dumbbell squat, for instance. So now, Rebecca, why don't we go ahead and pick up the dumbbells by bending at the knees and the waist. Always proper alignment on the back. It's very important that we go ahead and always pick up the dumbbells in a very correct manner. And now we're going to thrust one leg forward, right foot. Good. Excellent. Creating a 90-degree angle on the bottom. Now you're going to press with the ball of the feet and come back up. Excellent. Do it again, please. With the next leg. Perfect. Come back up. And creating a 90-degree angle. The key thing over here is that, again, the knee has to stay behind the toes, because any time that we put the knees on top of the toes, that can create knee injuries. Excellent, Rebecca. So we're going to press with the toe, go back to the starting position. How about we show them a few other variations for the dumbbell lunge? Let's go ahead and do the one leg at a time variation, which again is going to be the same form, just doing it one leg at a time. Keep in mind, look at her lumbar area, always staying as straight as possible to go ahead and protect the lower back. Good. And then when she's done with that amount of repetitions on that leg, she'll go ahead and perform the other leg. Now, this third variation is a stationary lunge, where basically she emphasizes the quadriceps by pressing with the ball of her feet. Now, if you ladies wanted to go ahead and work more on the hamstrings and the glutes, she'll be pressing with the heel. Excellent, Rebecca. She comes down. She makes sure that she keeps those knees right behind the toes. And in addition, she's going to be breathing correctly by inhaling as she goes down and exhaling as she comes up. Perfect, Rebecca. Great job. Excellent. The standing calf raise is the king of exercises for the calf muscles. If you want to go ahead and have nice, shapely calves, this is the exercise to go ahead and do. Now, Rebecca is going to go ahead and show us how to perform it by picking the dumbbells, always correctly bending down, keeping that back straight, and then you're going to step into the 10-pound plates. The key thing here is to go ahead and start with a nice little stretch on the calf to be able to get the full range of motion. Very simple exercise. The rest of her torso is just nice and tight, completely straight, and she's going to start by pressing with the ball of her feet. Excellent. Coming back up, and then coming back down. Then press up, and then come back down. She's inhaling as she comes back down, and then she's exhaling as she presses. Perfect. Down and up. So you can see the calf muscle is hard at work over here. Very good, Rebecca. How about we do 3 more repetitions? It should also be mentioned that there's other variations. If you want to emphasize the outer head, press the toes inward. And if you want to do the inner head, you just press the toes outwards. Good. Excellent, Rebecca. Great job. For more information on how to exercise the calf muscles, please refer to our Body Sculpting Bibles exercise section. Our last leg exercise is one that is often not performed due to fear of injury due to improper execution. The name of the exercise is the stiff leg deadlift, which actually is a perfect exercise for the buns and the hamstrings over here. Now Rebecca is going to go ahead and show us how to properly conduct this exercise so you don't have any fears of injuries and you get the most benefits out in your glutes and hamstrings area. First, start by bending at the waist and your knees, properly collecting the dumbbells. Great. Now keeping the abs tight and the natural postural alignment of your back, we're going to bend at the waist till you feel a nice hamstring stretch, and then we come back up as we exhale. Good job. And then we're going to go back down as we inhale. We're only going to go as far as the hamstrings allow us to go to. Rebecca is a very flexible individual over here, so she can go very low. You may not be able to go as low as she is, but you'll still get great benefits out of this exercise. Very good job, Rebecca. Keep in mind that the feet are going to be at a shoulder-wide stance. Perfect. And we're going to keep the knees pretty stationary, not completely locked, a little bit of an angle on the knees, but pretty stationary throughout the movement. Great job, Rebecca. Thank you. So are we ready to start with some abdominal exercises? Great. The first abdominal exercise we'll show is a very simple yet highly effective exercise. It's called the abdominal crunch. We first start by laying down with back flat on the mat, knees bent, and then we're going to cross our hands over the chest to avoid any sort of undue stress on the neck muscles if you go ahead and put your hands behind your ears. So now the movement is very simple. As she exhales, she's going to go ahead and crunch, just keeping the back flat on the mat. Then come back down, inhaling, and then crunch back up again. Excellent. And then come back down, and then exhale. Hold the contraction for a second. Come back down. Very good. Let's do like 3 more repetitions over here, please. The key thing here is just controlled movement, It's not a marathon of doing 1,000 of these. It's a matter of just feeling the contraction of the abdominal muscles to get maximum benefit. Very good, Rebecca. Excellent job. Thank you. The second abdominal exercise that we're going to work on today is a lying leg raise. The lying leg raise emphasizes the lower abdominal muscles. This exercise is performed by laying flat on the ground, body straight, hands on the side, and then lifting the feet up 5 inches from the ground. Very good. Now she's going to start executing the exercise by bringing her legs up to a 90-degree angle. As she exhales, then she'll start inhaling back, and then back to the starting position, always 5 inches from the floor. Always following a nice controlled sort of motion, contracting the abs at the very top over there. Excellent. Very rhythmic. The key things with this exercise is to always control the motion. Too fast of a motion can go ahead and injure your lower back. Very good, Rebecca. One more repetition after this, please. Exhale. Good. And back to the starting position. Good job. The last abdominal exercise that we will perform today is called the bicycle crunch. The bicycle crunch hits the entire abdominal wall. As a matter of fact, over here, Rebecca will show us how to perform that sort of exercise. The initial position has your upper arms behind your head and your legs lifted at a 90-degree angle. We'll bring one side of the body towards the opposite leg. So basically over here, she's lifting her left side towards her right leg while extending the left leg. And now she's going to twist and bring the other side of her body towards the opposite leg. So keep on twisting and remember to breathe as we're doing this. This exercise is excellent in the sense that it hits every single abdominal muscle, rotator muscles, lower abdominals, upper abdominals, and everything in between over here. Very, very efficient exercise. If you could only do one exercise, it's probably the one to do. Very good, Rebecca. Make sure you're breathing as you do it. Excellent. Great job. Excellent.
R&R usually refers to rest and relaxation, conjuring up images of lying on a sandy beach in the Caribbean. But in our program, it refers to the essential components of rest and recovery. It's essential and also essentially forgotten by many exercisers who are just too concerned about working out really hard and think that if they don't take the time for sleep and rest, they'll get better results.
The good news is that that's wrong. It's really important that you try to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. A sleep-deprived body releases more stress hormones and less growth hormone. This leads to obesity and reduced muscle tissue. If you deprive your body of sleep, you'll hinder your ability to both lose fat and increase lean muscle mass. Not to mention, you lack the energy and focus needed to get through your workouts. Consequently, your form and technique will suffer. New research indicates that getting enough sleep each night is vital to your health. In fact, it suggests that rest and sleep might be right up there with a good diet and regular exercise as an essential component of a healthy and long life. So don't feel guilty. Sit back, relax, and hit the sack.
So that wraps up our Body Sculpting Bible Secrets to Perfect Form DVD. Hugo and I thank you for watching and for your interest in our program. Hopefully, we've cleared up some questions about proper form and technique, and I've provided great introduction to the 5 essentials of our program. Those essentials being strength training, cardiovascular exercise, nutrition, mental mindset, and rest and recovery. As you follow the programs outlined in our books, we look forward to your feedback. We're always here to encourage and to inspire you to attain a more sculpted physique and to be of assistance as you become a better person in the best body possible.